What's up, Sacramento? Welcome to the inaugural episode of On the Road with SacVibes. It's Greg with the community engagement team, and in this video, we're going to check out the city's water treatment plant off of I-5 by Richards Road. As part of a City Manager Academy field trip, the community engagement team got to tag along and learn how the city makes drinking water from the Sacramento River. Yes, you heard it right. We drink that nasty water from the Sacramento River. But before y'all get sick on me, check out this elaborate process that city staff oversee to ensure that every drop of water we drink is safe. We'll be going over each step of this process in this video, so go ahead and chill back and relax, and let's learn about the water we drink.
So we have two 54-inch pipe coming underneath the freeway into our facility. And this is where basically from Sacramento River, the water is being pumped from here into our facility. And from there, it's basically kind of almost gravity fed traveling down.
Okay, here we are making our way to the grit basins, where sand and other junk are taken out of the water mechanically. The junk gets taken to a lagoon to dry out and eventually gets sold as fertilizer.
So like I said, this is the beginning process of our water treatment process. And all we've added so far is just the chlorine. There's a lot of sand that we're bringing up in our pumps. So whatever sand that gets settled to the bottom, these chains in place basically kind of slowly, 2 feet per minute, that's pushing this flight across, and then this cross channel basically pumps all the sand into the truck that you see down below.
Okay, next we're headed to the flocculation tanks. Flocculation is the process of adding a chemical to the water to pull out junk that's dissolved in the water that we can't see. The water from the grit basins are pumped by these 3 huge pipes into the flocculation tanks.
So we have these different floor sections, 4 pumps, 4 sets of pumps, what we call flocculation motors. So like we said, we added the chemical at the flash mix. And now we need to make sure as it travels through the basin, it's thoroughly mixed with the water that it gives us the reaction that we need. So these 4 sets of pumps, they're at different speeds. As we're going down the set basin, we wanted to give time to let it settle. So it's going to go from fast, medium, slow, as we're traveling down this flux set basin, and then from there we have a really long stretch of sedimentation basin.
Sedimentation is a longer process where we wait for chemicals to do their job and pull the junk out the water. Hella junk comes out the water at this point. This is an empty sedimentation basin with a chain flight showing that cleans the bottom. Otherwise, someone would have to go in and clean all that junk up. No thanks. Here's a full sedimentation basin where the chemicals are starting to clear the water.
Now they're getting so heavy that they're starting to fall off, and you can actually start to see the chain of flight through. You can start to see the bottom of the basins. That's where we have. It's a lot more defined in the winter when you have something that looks like chocolate milk on the front end, and then you have clear blue water here on the back end.
This is the second basin, and look how much clearer it is. You know, I would probably swim in that if I was a kid, because I used to swim in dirty lakes and rivers anyway. Don't you dare judge me. Oh yeah, and that's a weir that controls the water flow.
When it goes over the weir, it comes down into this the underground channel here, and then it goes down into the filter gallery through the center channel there, where it can be treated by one of our 16 different dual media filters.
Okay, last step, going to the filter chambers. This is where the water gets fully cleaned.
This is the new set of filters. As you can tell, filter 1 through 8 are actually was put in first, and then the center of the building, you can tell when we added the next set of filters. So right now this filter is actually offline, but it allows you to see when it's in service, the water level gets to that level. It gets to that line that you see in the center. There's 2 different layers of media. There's anthracite, 3 to 4 feet of anthracite, and then 15 inches of sand. So that water has to basically travels down through the filters. It's almost like the filters that we have at home. If you have a Brita filter, you crack open that filter. It's similar to that black stuff that you see. And that basically helps absorb whatever sediments that doesn't get settled to set basin. These filtered because it's so fine, it's going to basically stick the flock that we don't want. And then it travels down, and there's another pipe that basically takes it into our reservoir. We have 3 different reservoirs here on site. And once it enters, when it leaves here, we add additional chemicals like our chloride, our chlorine for disinfection. When it leaves here, it has a certain distance that it travels. So we want to make sure that we kill whatever other bacteria that could potentially be in there. So that's why we have to add a post-chlorine.
Okay, this is it. We're heading to the control center, the brain of the whole outfit. That door right there goes to some underground stuff that we couldn't show you because we'd have to kill you if we did. Anyway, you want to see the brain anyway. You don't want to see what was in that door.
So look at the taps 1 through 13. 1 is the raw water, 2 is a flash mix, 6 is basin 1, 2. 7 is kind of the finished water as it leaves the filter, and then 9 is the contact basin or reservoir, and then 10 is the middle of the reservoir.
There's a pretty wild color difference. There's been nothing removed from this, and there has been as much as we possibly can. And we're running the jar test here. What kind of dosage of alum, polymer, or potentially during the winter months we may want to run caustic for pH control. And this is what we do before we just make a change.
So now you know where our water comes from and how complicated the process is to make it clean. I want to say thank you to all the people that work out there at the Sac Water Treatment Plant, to our tour guides, Asa and May, for helping us out that day. And we will see you guys next time.